Good Thursday morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing. We're transitioning from smoke dispersion to fire potential now as we're about to head into our fire season. Our 7-day products and our 7 days a week fire potential briefings all throughout the weekday and weekends start next week. And looking at the past 24 hours, did have some showers move through late yesterday across Nevada and starting pushing into parts of Utah and Idaho late last night into this morning. You can see in the lightning map, most recent lightning here in the yellow across parts of northern Utah and Idaho and into far western Wyoming. Older lightning further in the orange and red across Nevada. Now, on the current fires map, the most significant thing is the large number of prescribed burns here in the purple circles here across the higher terrain of Utah and up into Idaho. Small fire starts here in the red circles and yellow circles indicate recent fire activity, mostly on the 1 to 2 acre side in most regions. Precipitation across the past 7 days, most widespread across parts of central Nevada. A lot of this was in the past 24 hours and pushing into parts of Utah, but the week before that, if we look at the 2-week total here on the right, significant amounts of precipitation, that green to dark green to yellow, that's a ½ inch to 1.5 inches of precipitation for about 95% of the Great Basin. Shows ERCs are still moist across the region, although they are starting to rise. Let's start with our 10-hour fuels, and these only require 1 or 2 days of warm and dry conditions to really respond, and we can start seeing these light red shades indicating 5 to 6% values, which could carry fire in grasses, and even slightly lower ones across far southern Nevada. 100-hour fuels in these orange shades, 6 to 10%. It's once you get into these 5% levels that things are critically dry. So we are seeing significant drying in our far southern areas. No real concerns across our higher terrain. And in that higher terrain where 1,000-hour fuels are the dominant fuel across the elevations above 7,000 feet, you can see that these green to dark green areas indicate anywhere from 16 to 20% or even higher 1,000-hour fuel. So still many, many weeks away from getting any large fire potential in the high country. Part of that is still the unusually deep and long-lasting snowpack here. As we went into the end of May and the start of June, snowpack still 200 to 300% or more of normal, where you see those dark blue shades, normal being just a little bit, but still that's still significant across the area. Now the weather pattern, we have high pressure with warm, dry conditions across our southern areas, but it's this trough low pressure, unseasonably deep, dropping down from British Columbia, bringing showers and clouds across northern areas, and also firing off some convective activity with showers and lightning across Nevada, pushing into Utah. So this will affect at least the 2/3 of the geographic area, the northern 2/3. Southern areas will stay on the dry side and miss most of this precipitation. So for later today, here's the upper level map. The shower activity moves more into Idaho and Utah into the eastern Great Basin. Warm and dry to the south, but the tight height lines here, along with that drier air, indicate an increase in southwest winds. Currently, fuels are moist in all areas. We have low fire potential, but here are those winds could be gusting over 50 miles per hour across northern Nevada into parts of Idaho. Even down in the south where things are drying out, those gusts could approach 25 to 30. Humidity, mostly in the mid-teens and low teens, but some single digits to near 10% across our southern areas. So in some grassy areas, we cannot rule out the chance of some isolated fire starting to run in some of those spots. Now on Friday, notice the fire potential goes a little bit yellow here in the south. Still breezy and warm and dry. The moisture starts to exit the region, but we're into this trough of low pressure. It means temperatures will be cooler than normal, but still breezy with west-southwest winds. And we see those winds again, orange to purple shades indicating anywhere from 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts across a good portion of the area, and a little bit drier across the south. So again, we'll have to watch these areas, Vegas, the St. George, the Arizona Strip, far southern Utah. On Saturday, that trough lifts out. We have zonal flow coming in. Again, here's our 7-day fire potential. The winds mostly in the eastern portion of the Great Basin starting to slacken off elsewhere, but the humidity stays dry. 3-day precipitation from this morning through Sunday morning. Again, light amounts. Heaviest will be across far northern Utah into parts of western Wyoming and the mountains of central Idaho. As we go into Sunday, seasonable conditions. Actually, ridge of high pressure building, you'll see some warming and some drying continuing, and that'll take its toll on the lighter, flashier fuels across our southern areas, and that pattern continues. Actually, high pressure here on the left, nosing upwards. We'll start seeing a buildup of some heat. Near normal June conditions, which means pretty warm and pretty dry. That'll continue Tuesday into Wednesday before that ridge breaks down and some showers enter parts of northern Nevada, but still some winds and drier across our southern areas. Not so much concerned about the heavier fuels, but some of the lighter grasses still a threat, possibly if there's breezy conditions where there's a live fuel moisture like sage, where their moisture is still high. That should retard any fire growth. Days 4 through 5, precipitation Sunday afternoon through Tuesday afternoon, pretty bone dry across the Great Basin. And the 7-day totals, most of this will be in the first 2 days or 3 days, but otherwise dry across the southern areas. Now our 8 to 14-day outlook, June 13th through the 19th. Temperatures normal to slightly above normal. There is a wetter than normal signal. Could be some more systems working through showers, especially across central and northern areas and into the east. Maybe drier across our western areas. This concludes our briefing. Our next briefing is tomorrow, and they start 7 days a week this coming Sunday.